With big-name believers like Tom Cruise and John Travolta, the Church of Scientology is world-famous, but it's also the focus of great controversy. An explosive book about its creator, L. Ron Hubbard, was banned in the United States, but 27 years later, the bare-faced Messiah is again threatening to destroy the foundations of the church. Author Russell Miller joins us now from London. Russell, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
In your book, you make a number of claims, but which ones do you think make the church most nervous?
Well, I think the problem is that Hubbard, throughout his life, was, I'm afraid to tell you, a confidence trickster, a liar and a charlatan. Nothing he said about his whole life was true. I mean, he didn't grow up on a ranch covering a quarter of a Montana. He wasn't the youngest Eagle Scout. He didn't travel the East learning the secrets of life from wise men and gurus. He wasn't an explorer. He wasn't a war hero. It just goes on and on and on. Nothing the church said about him was true, I'm afraid.
Russell, what would you say? We've heard from a spokesperson for the church here in Australia, and she claims that you know nothing about the Church of Scientology, and that in fact your book has been available online in the US for some time, and they're not worried about it.
Well, they may not be worried about it. That's fine with me. And it has been online. That's absolutely true. The fact is that my book is about L. Ron Hubbard and it's not about Scientology. So I don't want to get involved in discussions about the merits of this so-called church. All I'm saying is that the founder of Scientology was a man who could not be trusted. He was an extraordinary man, an amazingly charismatic, extraordinary individual. But the fact is that he lied about himself for the whole of his life, and that's all my book is saying.
Russell, the book was first published in 1987. Why is the church worried about it now?
Well, the book strikes at the fundamentals of the church. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard is the Church of Scientology. The two things are completely intertwined. They can't be separated. And here we've got the founder of this so-called church. I don't believe it's a church. I don't believe it's a religion. But the founder is a man who is completely and utterly untrustworthy. And so, therefore, it's very damaging to the church.
Russell, the church is very, very, very keen to protect its reputation, and it doesn't like people criticising it. And they've taken some fairly harsh actions against other people who've criticised it. Are you concerned that they're going to mount some sort of campaign against you, attack your credibility beyond what they've already done? And, there are some suggestions that they've attacked for other people, both physically as well as reputation-wise. Are you concerned about any of that?
Well, I was concerned. It happened to me when the book was first published in the United Kingdom. I mean, it was never published in America because in America, a ferocious litigant with access to unlimited sums of money can keep the case going forever. And my publisher just had to give up. But I had a bad time. They followed me. They intercepted my mail. They tapped the phone. They gave me a very hard time. But I think having given me this hard time and having won originally to get the book published in Australia, in the United Kingdom, Canada and South Africa, I think probably they won't bother to do it again, but they may. If they do, they do.
And given, as you say, Russell, that L. Ron Hubbard was such a fraud and a charlatan, how was he able to capture the imaginations of a bunch of what looks like rich and gullible people and have Scientology so influential to the point where you've got huge numbers of very high-profile people, swearing their allegiance to it in the face of, quite frankly, looking like absolute idiots to the rest of us? How did he do it?
Yeah. Well, I think the high-profile members of the church are obviously not put through the rigours and the misery that ordinary people are. I mean, the Church of Scientology gathers in young people at a vulnerable moment of their lives. They give them a personality test. They tell them they're doing fantastically well. In my view, the Church of Scientology is an organisation that exists to make money and nothing else. I mean, that's its raison d'etre. And so people get involved. It's a classic cult. You're taught that the outside world is a dangerous place and the truth is within the church itself. And you take one course after another course, and you're constantly on the brink of getting to this kind of nirvana, but you never actually get there. And when all your money's gone, then you're invited to join the church as a member of staff, and you work for slave wages.
All right. Russell Miller, it's a fascinating book, and look, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
It's a great pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Russell.
All right, well, still to come on Studio 10, cricket legend Steve Waugh shining a light on a special young Australian.